Absolutely. I know it seems like a long time ago, but it was probably only like a couple months, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, probably. It might have been so busy that it probably feels like 6 months since we've
A
actually
couple months
spoken.
in this space of a couple years, you know?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely. That's absolutely right. 100%. And yeah, it's been a while, but I mean, even though it's been like, not that long, like you guys have been building so much. And I'm not just saying like everybody's building whatever, hands in a triangle, but like you guys seriously have been like pedal to the metal, full force, like pumping out all of this content. And I was looking at your Twitter page the other day and I was like, whoa, these guys have been super busy. So yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. We've since I spoke to you, it's been like we were when I spoke to you it was probably 90% through towards the actual beta project. So the last 10% is obviously where everything comes together. And the amount of content and work, we honestly haven't been sleeping. It's been 7 days a week. I'm trying to scale as many stuff as possible now. So it's exciting, but it's always the tiring bit. The last bit, just getting everything together. It's always the tiring bit, but exciting. So I like seeing the pretty pictures come out and the content and everything coming together. We've got a big drop next week of loads of X-Droids being revealed, which is cool. So yeah, I'm really, really excited.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Do you guys want to just go ahead and introduce yourselves? Like I've talked to you before, but for anybody who might be new to the game, just hearing about it, why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves and just tell us a little bit about yourself and then also what is your role at Planet X?
Perfect. So I recognize a lot of people in the crowd anyway. I know a lot of them, to be honest. So for those of you that don't know, I'm the founder of Planet X, called James, 29. I'm from London. I've been building this project for 2 years and 4 months. I have Web 2 businesses, so this is my first, venture in Web 3. However, the business is very much a hybrid of Web 2 and Web 3. I've got a very cute little dog called Lily. I own a shop in London, a sneaker hype store. I own a charity fundraising business, which we can get into because it's quite cool later. Yeah, I think that covers all. Should I jump into the actual business, or do you want Sheikh to introduce himself?
Sure, yeah. So they call me Sheikh Scrog. I help out with with doing community management and helping out with advising for James. Got involved. Oh, what was it? A couple months ago. Huge gamer myself, and have been in crypto since 2016. So super right up my alley. Very big fan of James and the rest of the team over there. So love to help out, love to help advise, and help manage the community. Quite bullish on what they're building. I see the opportunity, and that's why I'm here.
I think that's why we're connected, because we want to build out a team of casual gamers and people that love to game because they understand the product better than the normal market, and that's why me and Sheikh connected so well on the game, just talking about general gaming. So I love having him in the team.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, James, you had the idea for this game. Like it all started with you, right? Can you tell us a little bit about how you got the idea for Planet X?
I can. So, lockdown happened around the world for everybody. I'm from London, so I think we went into lockdown I think it was March 2020, if I'm correct. And it would have been about the same time for everyone around the world when it started coming out in China. And I turned on the PlayStation again. And obviously, I've gamed my whole life casually, but I was really playing a lot of PlayStation because obviously everyone had a lot of time, not having to do anything, go to meetings, etc. And I actually sat and I kept playing Warzone. I always speak to Sheikh about this, and obviously playing with your friends when you game is, one of the biggest pulls with gaming, probably the most vital. But when I sat there and we kept winning, funny enough, getting to the end of Warzone, and I was like, you don't get anything for actually winning for your time. And I didn't sit there and think, oh, I want to come up with an idea. It kind of just hit me there and then. And that's where you know, whenever I've had ideas before and turned them into businesses, that's what's happened. Something just hits me, a switch turns on, I sit down and think about it, and then I was like, oh, wow, I think this would be a really cool idea. Rung up my design team, we sat down and was like, yeah, we think this is an amazing concept. And, you know, and everyone around us agreed, and then we got started building.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a big thing too was seeing how much people are spending on these skins and gun camos and all of that. You know, I've got probably all of my good friends who've spent, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars on skins and stuff on these different games, and you don't own them. Once you spend that, it's gone. You don't own it. It's on. I mean, sure, it's linked to the account, right? But other than that, it's basically gone. So I think, yeah, building on that idea, the thought process of actually kind of taking a similar idea and turning it into something where, hey, you can own these things and buy and trade them and yada, 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 is a very profitable business model, as long as, you know, the actual game itself is, you know, because like James has been saying, he's been building this game out for what, 2.5 years, which is impressive, which is great. So
Yeah, absolutely. You know, one thing about that, which is kind of funny, is like, you know, you mentioned that you play this game and you spend all of this money on skins, and some people like have no idea how much gamers actually spend on their games. It's crazy.
a
And
lot.
so, and they're like, oh, nobody's going to spend $150 to buy a character. It's like, are you kidding me? Yes, they absolutely will. Like, you know,
But
it's,
you know,
go ahead.
one of the things I'd say on that as well, and I agree with you, is that people don't realize that, you know, how much entertainment you get out of, let's say I spend around probably $50 a month on, you know, Warzone, probably less now, maybe $40. But the reality is the hours of entertainment that gives me is worth it, because in England, going to the cinema to watch a film might be $30, you know, popcorn, food. But you spend $40 on a game and you're playing it for 20 hours throughout the month, the value of actually spending that is worth it. So I think there's value in spending it, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. You guys, I'm going to do a room reset really quick. I do have the very first pinned tweet. If you guys wouldn't mind just retweeting that out. This is one of the games that I'm most excited for. So I really want people like to know about it. And then also we are going to do the POAP, of course, that I always do for you guys. We're going to do that a little bit later. So stay tuned for the secret word. But if you have never gotten the POAP before, don't forget to download poap.xyz. There is a little secret like mint, or actually it says like mint, and then you can put in the secret code, which I'll give you later. So stay tuned for that. And you can only get that during the live stream. So again, thank you so much for coming to that. But I realize that not everybody can make it. So that's why we record the space so people can go back and listen. And then I am so excited about this, you guys. Like, you don't have to go there right now, but on my Twitch, like, I worked with our graphic designer and he did this kick-ass overlay for me. So on my Twitch, I've got the Twitter spaces, like all of the speakers. I've got myself. I've got your guys' website and some YouTube playing. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to save this and we'll put it on our YouTube and we'll tag you guys on it. I found your YouTube. So that'll be really good for people who, like, you know, maybe aren't on Twitter spaces and or who want like a little bit more of a visual. So I'm really excited about that. So you guys check that out, and I'll share it, you know, once I've got it all rendered and all that. So yeah, super excited.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot to keep track of, but I think it'll be worth it in the end. So I'm like, you know, talking, listening, asking the questions, hitting play on the YouTube. So it's a lot, but it's actually, I think the end result will be pretty cool, right?
So what is that system? A P? You sent that to me. What is it? A POAP? What is it? The actual name of that? I was confused when you sent that to me. I didn't know what it was.
Oh, the POAP. Yeah, that's a proof of attendance protocol. And it's basically something that creators or entities make whenever they host an event, or it can be for anything. and you can allow people to basically collect them, and it's just kind of like a little "I was here" token.
Oh, I see. I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, they're super cool. Sometimes like some people use them a lot. Other people's like you like don't really have any clue of what they are, but like even like the Japan, like their government uses them. So it's kind of like crazy like who uses them and who doesn't, but I think that they will eventually take off. So it's nice to be super early into something like that. So
Yeah, of course, of course.
yeah. So enough about me and, all the stuff that I have going on. Let's talk about the game. So this game, I think, is going to be one of the top games that once everybody finds out about it, that like streamers and esports, everybody is going to be super, super excited about it. So, James, do you want to talk about the gameplay first, or do you think it would be better if we talk about the NFTs and the X droids first?
I think let's go with the gameplay first because, as I speak to Sheikh and I spoke to you about this previously, it's a game first. And for this to be a success, it has to be a game first, obviously. So let's talk about the gameplay first. Do you want me just to start with, for the people that don't know, just the basic concept, and then we'll jump into more details?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So I know quite a lot of you in the crowd have heard this, but for those of you that haven't, so Planet X is a mobile-first game launching on all smart devices, iOS and Android. Actually, very shortly, our first $10,000 beta hunt is coming up, which we will discuss. So the game is very, very simple. It is a live treasure hunt experienced through gaming. So picture this. There are daily hunts, so they're called hunts, and you as a user on the phone can see what prizes are in each hunt coming up. So for everyone in the room, let's say there was a hunt on Saturday and there was $3,000 worth of prizes, and that was the latest trainers, event tickets, money, crypto, NFTs. They'd be stuffed and hidden in treasure chests. It would show a start time that hunt is, let's say midday. We would all join the map. It looks like Fortnite, so you have a 3D character, obviously avatar, the X-Droids, and it's a race, a competition, battle against every other player to find these chests first. If you find a chest, you win the prize inside. And what happens, that treasure chest is removed from the map and the count will go down. So if there's 100 treasure chests and you find one, that will go and there'll be 99 left. So as you can imagine, everyone's sitting on their phones wherever they are around the world, whether you're at work, whether you're in the park, whether you're on the beach, whether you're walking your dog, whatever you're doing, you tune into this globalized hunt, really short adrenaline hunts, and you can win prizes, and it's completely down to you. It's never been done before.
That's amazing. I absolutely love it. So I kind of picture like it reminds me kind of the Hunger Games in a way. I know that they're like fighting for their lives, but the way that they're running around on this map, like it gives me like those vibes. And when I was watching the Hunger Games, I was like on the edge of my seat, right? And that's how I feel like I'm going to be if I'm either participating or if I'm just watching this go on. Like it's going to be very intense, don't you think?
That's exactly what we've made it for. I want the experience from day one, from the first time we laid our first brick in this product, it's all about experience. I want everybody glued to their phone, literally sweating over it. You see everyone's names popping up who's winning, so it's interactive. Whenever anyone finds a chest, everyone's phone around the whole globe vibrates. So, if Erica just finds a chest, your name pops up. Wow, she's just found it. She's just got a pair of trainers. It's all about that fast pace. And then when you add in killing into it, that's when it becomes super intense. And it's going to become very funny because picture, you're sitting wherever you are and you find a chest. It doesn't matter if it's a $10 pizza or a $200 you're going to get that dopamine hit the moment that treasure chest open because you won against all these players. But then players can take it from you. And one of the funniest features within the game, and my favorite, which everyone loves, is the fact that when you do find that treasure, you do not get to leave the game. You have to get to extraction. So picture this, you find a treasure chest, you have to call Mothership, the mothership will say extraction's coming down and a timer will pop up on the screen. You have to get to that extraction point. And if someone comes around the corner and shoots you, they steal your prize. And that's where I think the real adrenaline and fun and sweat of the product's going to come from, when you're trying to get to the mothership with a brand new Mac or a brand new iPhone or $1,000, and then some 15-year-old kills you and steals it.
I'm gonna that's fine. He can like kill me and stuff like that, but payback is a bitch. I have no problem, getting back at these little 15-year-olds like we talked about before, right? I was like, I have no problem like stealing some Jordans from a teenager. Like, no shame in my game.
That's the thing with gaming, me and Sheikh talk about this, where things go viral on Twitch where you're down someone on Warzone and they jump up and down on their face before they shoot them. And that tradition in gaming has been there. So imagine how much worse it's going to be where you shoot somebody.
Not only do you get to steal someone's Jordans, you get to teabag them after.
Yeah, that's what I mean, because we're allowing you to obviously down them. This is what we were thinking about, Sheikh, because we're actually doing this mechanic right now, and we're thinking of it not being an instant kill, actually downing him as well, so the player watches you steal your loot. So you
gotta have. Remember how in Halo 3 and Halo 2 how they made when you would do the teabag, they would make like the bodies like bounce almost. Yeah. You remember that? You guys gotta add some sort of animation, and like don't even announce it. Like just let the community figure out itself that like, oh hey, when you press crouch over and over and over again on top of someone after you killed them, it does this. Like you totally gotta incorporate something like that. It'll be hilarious. Halo did it the best, man. That legends for creating that. But absolutely yes.
That fun and amusement is exactly every part of it. Like, you get death comms. Actually, Ed, I think he's in the crowd. I don't know if Ed's in the crowd. Yeah, Ed is in the crowd. Hi, Ed. So Ed actually spoke and was like, please let there be death comms. Please let there be death comms. But we're actually going to do comms when you find a treasure chest. So you can hear when it comes up saying Eric has found a treasure chest. So you can actually hear them by their phone, because you imagine everyone's going to be like screaming, yeah, I found one, or whatever. They'll probably be swearing and all sorts. We'll keep it PG. But imagine hearing that emotion, not just killing people, but also hearing people celebrate when they find a $5,000 chest or an iPhone or some trainers or event tickets, you name it.
Yes, 100%. It's going to be insane. Let people know about the community or like the clan aspect of it, because you don't have to go at this alone. Like, you can team up with your buddies. Let everybody know about that.
Yeah, so just like Warzone, we've actually, being a casual gamer, the way these super successful games have been working, let's talk Apex, Fortnite, Warzone, PUBG Mobile, all of them actually have the same mechanics. If you strip it back, there's all about squads, there's all about Battle Royale, there's actually certain mechanics that make a very successful game now. So, meaning, what works, you can have squads up to 4 players. Why that's really fun in a hunt is, imagine this. You land on Planet X. If you go alone, the chances of surviving is going to be a lot harder. But if you're with your friends and one of you finds treasure, your other friends can defend you all the way to the mothership and vice versa. Actually squadding up in these hunts is going to become really powerful. Great for us as a business, because people are going to want to invite their friends into the product, so we're going to get more downloads, obviously. Mm-hmm. But actually squadding up with a team is going to be really, really powerful if you want to get out of Planet X with those prizes and that loot.
Yeah, I think great for, going a little on a tangent, but I think great from a business model perspective, right? Great for communities as well. Being able to offer multiple, being able to go to communities or go to, whoever, right? And say, hey, we can make you guys a server in which, you name the NFT community, whatever it is, say, hey, here's a server where it's only, let's say Bored Apes, right? It's only Bored Apes. You guys get to go fight each other over this crowned ape that's in the treasure chest. I think it can help offer engagement and help build tight-knit kind of friendships within a lot of communities too. So I see that as a huge selling point, actually.
Yeah. That's actually one of the points, Erica, that I've touched on this before in spaces, that when it comes to obviously a business model, there's our own hunts, but other community hunts are going to be really big. We've already closed, I'm not going to bring out names yet, but we've already closed 6 or 7 projects that are going to be doing their own hunt. So what I mean by that is they'll set up the hunt, it's all branded to them. Within the game, the only people that got invite to it is their community. So you're going to have communities in Discord say, guys, there's a hunt this Saturday, it's only us holders. The prizes are A, B, and C, and D, which the actual products pick. And then they're onboarding all of their community onto the product. And it's obviously such a cool, fun thing to do, you know, branded hunts every single month with your own community.
Hell yeah. That sounds amazing. I absolutely love that. I can't imagine like how competitive that would get if you had like the Bored Apes going against like Ryder Rick. Who is it? Ryder Rips?
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be crazy. That would be intense.
Yeah, and I think furthering that too, with thinking, you know, on a similar thought pattern, right, of the idea of, you know, as this community grows and as the player base grows and et cetera, you can kind of think of it from more of a corporate marketing standpoint as well. Say I'm launching a new clothing line or a new product or new something, right? I go to James and I say, hey, I've got this new product I want to advertise for. Okay, boom. He throws that product, that service, that whatever in a treasure hunt one day for one of the hunts. Boom. Now there's another income source from, I mean, that's going to give me tons of eyes. That's going to be great marketing for my product, my service, whatever. And then, you know, that just adds another layer of income from the business side for Planet X as well.
Yeah.
100%. And I don't know for those of you that know this in the crowd, but lots of the top brands in the world now, they're just trying to get into games because at the end of the day, they know the younger generation, they're only playing games. So that advertising space and being able to connect with them, it's so far going into games now. That's why you've got fashion brands like Balenciaga featuring in Fortnite. That wouldn't have happened 10 years ago. But the brands have now realized the way to get to the kids and get them loving our brand at an early age is getting into games. So you can imagine if we have all of these millions of players hunting for prizes every week, big brands are going to come along and say, right, we're launching this new product. Please do the whole hunt about our product, and instantly they could have 1 million eyes or whatever the number is on their product. So that's actually a massive arm of the business and what we're building for. Branded hunts commercially outside of Web3 for, you know, brands like Nike, Adidas, sports teams, you name it. We're actually setting it up so it works in that way.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it could even be something that like somebody like OpenSea sponsors or Magic Eden, you know, where you have actual, you know how like Undead Blocks and Meta Ops, they actually have advertisements within their game, and it might be subtle. It might be like in Undead Blocks, like there's a school bus and there's a banner on it, and that's where you might have like an OpenSea logo or something like that. And so you can get creative as well with allowing some of these entities to come into the game. It's subtle, but like it still works. So that's a really interesting aspect of it as well. As far as we won't get like too much into like the tokenomics and everything like that, but everybody always wants to know, okay, this, you know, this game is great, and obviously you guys have really thought about it, and in my opinion have kicked ass as far as like the gameplay aspect and like making it fun and competitive and everything like that. But everybody wants to know, how is the game going to be sustainable? Is it going to be a Ponzi and all that? Can you go into, you know, what will make this game sustainable?
Yeah, of course. So firstly, we don't have a token. Just want to get that out there. I know you just said tokenomics. So so let me break it down. Within the treasure chests, you find X tokens. These are not a crypto. They're just Planet X's currency. So as you'll get in Fortnite, it will be, what's Fortnite? V-Bucks. In Roblox, it's Roblox. In Planet X, it's X tokens. When you find those within a treasure chest, you take them to the X Vault. That's all built within the game. The X Vault is like a vault door that opens, and you can spend those X tokens on anything from fashion, technology, you name it. You can spend your X tokens, and we've done it like that so that these hunts are global. Because one of the problems is this: if we said there's a treasure hunt tomorrow and there's 100 PlayStation 5s, it would put off a certain audience of player. It could put off girls, it could put off the wrong age, 60-year-olds might not want to play. So we wanted to make a global currency that works for everyone. So by hiding X tokens in treasure chests where players can spend them on anything, that means a 15-year-old will want to play and a 60-year-old will want to play, which means it's globalized. So I want to make that clear to everyone. We are not a token. And that's why it actually makes it a very exciting proposal as a business, because we set this up as a Web 2 commercial game before we brought the Web 3 element into it. So even without Web 3, even if we never did a mint, our game's getting to market, our game's launching, we've got backers, we've got investors. So that element of it, how we actually then retain making money is through microtransactions. So to give you guys some idea that don't know, and I'm sure a lot of you do know, games like Fortnite, Warzone, Apex make all their money now through microtransactions. So that's skins, weapons, items, one-off rare items. We are exactly the same. So let's pretend 100,000 people join a hunt this Saturday. There's $5,000 worth of prizes, and 10,000 of them say, oh, I want a hoverboard because I can get around quicker and have a better chance of winning the prizes. They spend $2 or $1, whatever that digital item is, and that's obviously how we make revenue. So as any startup has, we have money to get to market over the next 2 years, and as your user base grows, you start to make revenue. But with our kind of concept, we believe we'll be revenue generating from the first hunt.
Just simply off those small microtransactions, right? So I could, and we'll keep them cheap, right? So it's fair, and it's not, you don't want to turn it into a pay-to-play game, right? But say say you have a max allocation of you're allowed to spend $20, and there's one item that's $10. There's some items that are $1. The most you can spend, and this is, again, this is theoretical, right? But say the most you can spend is $20, right? And there's 100,000 players, right? And you can spend $1 on a radar grenade, or you could spend $5 on a hoverboard, et cetera, et cetera. It allows people to kind of give themselves a boost and customize their gameplay, but without making it, no one wants a pay-to-play game, right? Mm-hmm. And that's a big part of it too. To really emphasize and focus on the fact that it's not we don't want to go that direction. We don't want this to be a pay-to-play type of thing. We want everyone to be able to participate and join in.
Yeah. I want to double down on that. Commercially, as a product, you never have to buy an NFT. You can download the game for free on the app stores, and you can enter these hunts and not spend £1 and end up winning prizes every day. That's that'll be our biggest user base, user case, people just playing, downloading it for free. But then commercially, as a brand, if you have 200,000 people hunting for prizes, and in gaming, that's not a big number. You think about, if kids around the world knew that there was $5,000 worth of prizes, you'd get a lot more than that number. Then brands come in and actually give the prizes for free. So commercially, we're not going to be a game where people go, oh, you have to pay to be winning within this product. It's nothing like that. It will ruin the experience for gamers. But just like the other games, like Warzone, Call of Duty, if you want upgraded items and you want to look different to your friends and you want to have different, instruments within the game, you're allowed to do that. And the prices of those are in line with, any other mobile game. So it's like a couple of dollars each digital item that you buy.
Awesome. Yeah, I recently became addicted to Mario Kart on my phone. And just to give you guys an idea, I just spent $3.99 on a special race car for my Luigi. So yes, microtransactions, they do work. People will pay, I would say maybe 2 to 5, or if it's something really special, maybe 10, but absolutely people will pay for a hoverboard they can get around fast in. And yeah, I'm looking on your website right now, you guys. Their website is a really good way to find out more and to get some visuals, but they have some of the visuals of some of the upgrades. So I'm gonna do a really quick reset, and then we'll get into some more questions and more about the game. So we are obviously talking with Planet X. We're talking with them about their upcoming game. They have a lot lot in store, and we have a PO app for today's show. So if you guys have downloaded the poapp.xyz app, you can go ahead and go on your application, click the little mint button, and then the code that you are going to enter is going to be, it's all numbers, it's 643182. And that was 643182. I'll say it again before the show ends, just for anybody who maybe comes in a little bit later. But that's just a way for us to commemorate Planet X taking time out of their day to come on our show and talk about the game. So hopefully
taking time out of my sleeping. It's
what time is it for you right now? You're overseas.
It's 1:15 in England.
What time is it right now?
It's 1:15 in the morning in England.
It's
fine.
That's not that bad.
It's Web3 for Founder Life, so I'm not trying to get out of it. I know Ed as well in the crowd is from London. Well, he's from the UK, so
shout out to Ed for being up so late.
Yeah, shout out to Ed. Ed's always making followers, and he's a true OG of Planet X. So Ed and me will be friends for a very, very long time. It was one of the first people ever to jump in the Discord, and he's a big fan.
That's awesome. Yeah, you gotta love your community. You gotta appreciate the community 100%. Absolutely. It's it's kind of like a symbiotic relationship. Like you can't make it without them, and they can't make it without you. So yeah, shout out to the community for sure.
One of the first things I noticed when jumping into Web3, so this is actually good for everyone to listen to, when we transitioned. So I was actually building this game for 2 years, and only in February this year, so 8-9 months ago, did I actually jump into Web3 properly, because all my friends were like, oh, James, you need to look at this. And I jumped into a space with, I don't know if you know who King Combat is. He runs something called, he does Alien Friends Space. And I jumped into it, and I was in LA, and I was just listening to him by the pool every day doing this space. He gets really big listeners. He gets like 300-400 people a day now, from literally 20 a day. So he's doing really, really well. And listening to how everybody was in Web3, the community, that's what excited me about it, because having a marketing arm and being so close to hardcore fans, a lot of Web2 businesses would love that. And to give an example, I've got a trainer shop in the middle of London, and I have clients come in every month that are the same people, they know us, but they're not online talking about us, spreading positivity, giving us feedback, being connected to the brand. And that's one of the amazing things about Web3, that if you have 10,000 holders, whatever size your collection is, and you have 4,000 unique holders, it's amazing to even just feed back to them, be connected. I think that it's something that I really love about Web3. Yeah, I'm really excited to build that. Someone like Ed, jokes aside, we're launching very soon, and we've already had thousands of signups, and we haven't even started traditional marketing. So, when we hit that 100,000 player count and 200,000 and 300,000 and 400,000, people like Ed, I'm going to remember, jokes aside, like he's one of the first guys to jump in and show proper enthusiasm towards the brand. And there's quite a few people in Discord that do that. So, I definitely think it's a great thing to have for sure.
Yes, 100%. Hey, you guys, if anybody down in the audience, if you guys have questions or you just want to come up and say hi or whatever, anything but shilling a project, totally, you are welcome to request speaker and come up and ask any questions. And on my Twitter, I do have a question from RMZ Inu. He said, I wonder how big the maps are. Can you give us any ideas of how big the maps are? Like, how much are we going to be running around?
Correct. So, good question. We've actually based our first map off the size of Fortnite. So, it's bigger than like a Warzone Call of Duty map, because Fortnite's bigger than that. So it's quite big. Like, I was running around earlier and I was like, this is quite big, but it needs to be big to make it fun. We don't want everyone finding the treasure chests in 5 minutes, because the hunt will be over. So getting that balance, really important. And during our beta hunts, feedback from the community, feedback from my own team, we might adjust it, make it a bit smaller, make it a bit bigger. But from day one, it's Fortnite size.
Ooh, awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you answering that question. And let's see here. We are going to be giving away a boarding pass. So the way that, just to make it fair, the tweet on top, you guys, the very first one, if you want to go ahead and follow Play Planet X and Gokhshtein Media, and then just go ahead and give that tweet a retweet, then you'll be entered to get a boarding pass. And speaking of the boarding pass, James, can you let us know about the boarding passes and what exactly are those?
100%. So our first beta hunt, we've hidden $10,000 worth of prizes in treasure chests. That is very, very soon. I can't give an exact date yet because we're in our last minute testing on every phone, but boarding passes get you access to this hunt, and there are only 1,000 players that are actually allowed to play in this. So the day that hunt goes live, you have to have a boarding pass to get entry to it. We've already given away, I think, 550 of them, so there's only 450 left. We've just been doing competitions and stuff, so I've dedicated 5 boarding passes to this space to give away with for people that don't have one. So I don't know how you want to give those away in this space, Erica, if we give them to people that ask good questions, or you want to do it at random, or
I think just to be fair, we'll go ahead and do it from the tweet. The first pinned tweet, I'll go ahead and load that into Twitter Picker, and then it'll pick 5 winners for us. So yeah, if you haven't retweeted that yet, go ahead and do that, and then follow. You have to be following Play Planet X and Gokhshtein Media in order to qualify for it. So definitely. And then if there's anything else you want to do for that, we definitely can, but I think that kind of, keeps it nice and fair. So absolutely. All right, so we've talked about the gameplay. We've talked about, we didn't talk about kind of like a little bit of the technical aspects of it. What did you guys use to develop the game? Did you develop it in Unity or Unreal?
Unity.
Okay.
So obviously, for those of you who don't know, Unreal and Unity are obviously the market-leading engines. Unreal generally has the console market pinned down, the kind of kings at that now. Unity are stronger on mobile, so that's why we picked Unity. But obviously, Unreal is a great engine on mobile as well.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. That's true, because whenever I load a mobile game, it's always in Unity. I haven't seen one in Unreal. I don't think you can have a mobile game in Unreal, can you? Or can you?
No, you can. You can now. But what's happened is Unreal have really taken that AAA market, like Fortnite, etc. So what Unity have decided to do is double down on mobile. So Unity is actually easier to build with and more flexible on mobile. They're very similar engines. It's down to preference, but Unity generally are the kings on mobile.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Okay, awesome. Perfect. Thank you. All right, and then what else? Besides the boarding pass, do you have NFTs that people can buy for your X droids, for example? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, perfect. So I'll break it down about how our actual NFT works. And Sheikh, should we get into how the mint process of auctions work as well afterwards? I think that'd be quite
more so. I think a more important point would actually be the idea of how the value to these X droids relates to the growing of the user base and the renting out and things of the likes.
Okay, perfect. So following on from the game, guys, how this actually jumped into Web3 was, as I said, I jumped into Web3 and was like, wow, about the community. And then I started to get really excited about digital ownership within a product, because at the end of the day, for someone like me who games, I really believe in digital ownership. And how I break that down to everybody outside of Web3, I break it down like this. When I was 8 years old, I'd want a remote control car. I'm 29 now. And when I was 8, I'd want a remote control car. You'd play on all your toys. But the younger generation now, they're just sitting on games, playing Fortnite, buying digital skins, buying weapons. So to them, that's where the value's coming from. So when I jumped into Web3, I was like, digital ownership within products is going to be the future, obviously. So that's when I thought I have a great opportunity now to build a commercial game globally with a really unique player base for our holders. So what do you get for being a holder? Number one, you don't need to be a holder to get into our beta hunt. You can play the game if you've got a boarding pass to the hunt, and then you don't have to mint afterwards. You can just wait until the game comes out, public launch, and as I said, you don't have to mint. However, if you do want to mint, we've focused heavily on giving benefits that you get straight away. So I'll break down the utilities of owning an Xdroid. First things first, if you own an Xdroid, you get access to something called an extreme hunt. No other players get access to this hunt except holders. The prize pool for this is $10,000 a month. So there's one extreme hunt a month and it's $10,000, but that increases as our normal player base grows. And why that happens is because we'll be making more revenue. So for every 10,000 normal players it grows, we increase the prize pool by $1,000. So to give you some idea, if our game, a globalized treasure hunt, got to even 1% of Fortnite, you guys would be battling it out for $110,000 every single month, which is obviously life-changing money. If your treasure hunt got to 20% of Fortnite, it would be for over $1 million. So obviously, if you believe in this globalized treasure hunt being commercially viable around the world, the prize pools will get really out of hand. So to give you some insight, Call of Duty are making $4 or $5 million a day from microtransactions. So the price of what the Xdroid is correlates to how many players we actually have. So that's the first thing. You get access to these extreme hunts. However, if you do not like gaming, you can actually rent out your Xdroid to a normal player. So how it would work is, let's say there's an extreme hunt this Saturday. You don't like gaming. You bought an Xdroid purely for investment because you want to rent it out every month. A normal player can go up to you on the game and say, right, I want access to that extreme hunt because the prize pool is $30,000 and I will pay you 0.3 ETH for it. You actually decide the price as the owner. So if you own 3 Xdroids, you can rent all 3 out for, say 0.1 ETH each and have a passive income every single month. And as the prize pool grows, obviously that could become silly. It could be 1 ETH renting out because the prize pool's $100,000, etc. So those are the two main utilities. If you go onto our website, you'll see the smaller utilities after that. But really, if you're looking at an Xdroid, there's those two things.
Awesome. That is awesome. And by the way, whoever did your artwork, these Xdroids are pretty badass. Like they're amazing looking. I love it. I love how like they look, they kind of remind me of like Transformers in a way, but you can tell that the level of detail is really, really good. And they all look really different too. So your artist did a really, really good job of making these Xdroids.
Do you know, it's funny, my artist, so he's my artist is actually Turkish, an amazing person. And it was funny because when I jumped into Web3, I had my whole team. So I've had designers that were with me since I was 21 years old that build my Web2 products with me. But when I jumped into this, we needed an artist. And because it was like coming to the end of the bull market, everybody was looking for artists around the whole world. Everyone was trying to get a collection out. So if you spoke to any digital artist, they were like, nope, I'm booked up for the next 6 months. And I mean everybody. Yeah. And it was really funny because it was at the point where I was sitting there going, maybe we need to put Web3 on hold at the moment because I would not sacrifice the quality of the brand to put out, half-baked artwork because our brand is at such a high level and we've invested a lot of money into it. And luckily enough, this guy randomly appeared and he loves games. He sold to Activision before. He sold a game to Activision like a while ago. And he, my friend was having a coffee with him really randomly, and I went and sat down with them, and he was like, oh, I'm an artist. And I was like, oh, really? And he was like, yeah, I am. So I said, what kind of art do you do? And he was like, oh, 3D. And I was like, oh, no way, I've got a game. We started having a discussion, and I said, do you want to draw up an Xdroid for me? I just want to see how good you are. And I remember he sent me this picture, and I was like blown off my seat. I was like, oh, my God. This guy is magical. And I remember we had a long chat on Zoom and I said, look, you are so talented. And he absolutely loved the concept. Like he loved the game so much. And he said, Like, it would be an absolute pleasure to go on this journey with you. And yeah, we joined forces in March. And yeah, he's amazing. Like, you haven't seen the half of it. You've seen like 6 droids that we've been released, but this guy is so talented. So I can't wait for you guys to see all the when the auto generation happens and, you know, these random droids come out. I can't wait for you guys to see.
Yeah, they do. They look amazing. That is such a cool story. Like, how random, but how amazing that you were like,
Just,
what is happening here? Is this, it's like obviously meant to be, right?
Do you know what's so random? I wasn't going to do it. I wouldn't even be here talking to you. Like, I'd already got investment in my game. We're already 80% through the build. I was like, I really want to get into Web3. And it came to the point where I was like, I'm going to stop looking because every artist is fully booked, can't get them anywhere. Quality and design is very rare to find. You know, there's designers everywhere, but there's not good designers everywhere. And I was like, do you know what? I'm going to leave it. I'm going to let the game come out. And then he just fell on my lap. It was like, I wasn't even looking at that point, and he just popped up when I was like, right time, meant to be, who knows? He was just there. And what he did, he elevated everything I've got. And, you know, it looks like, people always look at our website and say, this looks like a commercial multi-million-pound brand has put this together. You know, those X-Droids are real characters. You know, you could have programs with it, you know, you name it, you can look at them, you know, and it's very exciting.
Yes, 100%. You guys, I'm going to go ahead and give away the POAP code one more time since we're reaching the hour and it will definitely expire. There's sticklers with these POAP codes. They're like only 1/2 hour. So anyway, the POAP code is 643182. And if you guys could go ahead, the very first pinned tweet, I actually need one more person to retweet it. So that way we can get the Twitter picker loaded. So if you guys could all just give that a retweet, that would be amazing. And then you can get in the drawing for the or for the boarding pass. That would be great. Before we give away the boarding pass though, or the boarding passes, I noticed on your website that for the X-Droids, it says, as well as your PFP. Oops, hey Sheikh, can you mute your microphone? I think you may be unmuted and we can hear the background noise. There we go, thank you. So it says, as well as your PFP, you will get access to your X-Droid in 3D format as per our roadmap. So does that mean you're going to be also getting the 3D files?
Correct, yeah. So everything we've made it in 3D first, obviously, because it's a game, so it's not the other way around. So we've actually done all of that work already. Our artist has been working, honestly, 7 days a week through the nights, not sleeping for the last 8 months. So you're going to get the files as well, yeah.
That's amazing. Like, that's a really, really good perk, you guys. So in my profile picture, I've got that little pink character. She's Chibi Labs, and they're also 3D, so you can do like augmented reality, but they also give you the files. And I don't think that people realize exactly what that means. Like, you can take these files and you can take them into the metaverse. Like in the monoverse, you can take your character in there. You can bring it into like Blender. You can do things with it. You can animate the hell out of it and do whatever you want with it. It's yours, right? So I'm assuming that you get full IP with them as well. Is that a correct assumption?
No. So obviously we have to protect, and this is what I say to a lot of projects where we're trying to build for holders. The best thing that can happen is a brand can protect their image and move it forward in the right direction. So there are some rights with the actual droids, but we will not let you take those droids and make a decision that you're going to put them in a random movie or something like this without our permission. So there are restrictions on it. As I said, we're trying to build a commercial brand, and you can't just have your droids scattered across things that aren't aligned with what you're doing. So those actual restrictions will be released on our Mint, what you can do with the 3D files. So some things we allow straight away, but when it's anything that's going to be commercialized, you have to come to us as a brand to see if we agree to it.
Okay, gotcha. So it's a maybe. Just check with James first. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a maybe, because at the end of the day, as I said, we're building a commercial brand that we want to put alongside the likes of, Fortnite, Apex, you name it, just as a commercial product. And to have, your brand controlled by holders is a big risk to even the holders, because the holders want the brand to grow, so they get value from owning their NFT, their Xdroid. So it's a very delicate area when you see that some people say, have full IP rights, throw it around where you want, because it's like that sometimes isn't the best brand direction,
Yeah, no, 100%. Totally understandable. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and do the Twitter picker giveaway. Let me go ahead and get that on the screen here. So, man, I'm loving this Twitch setup. It is so amazing. I can put my Twitter picker right on here and everybody can see it live. Okay, so we've got that. We've got the entries. Let's go ahead and pick some winners here, you guys. Good luck. Okay, so it looks like only one person actually, I only did one winner. That was my bad. Here, hold on one second. Okay, so the first winner is going to be Nitro View. Let me take a screenshot of that really quick, or actually I'll just jot it down. Nitro View, okay. And then let me get 4 more. That was my bad, guys, sorry. See, there's a lot that goes into hosting, right? People don't realize it sometimes.
We're actually going to be locking off after a couple more giveaways, even though there's 400 passes left. Yeah. We're actually going to be locking them off because we partnered with some projects and we're only giving them to their community. So after about a week, nobody's going to be able to get boarding passes.
Oh, wow. Okay. So yeah, you guys got in at just the right time. That's awesome. Okay. Sorry, guys. Let me load this really quick again. One more time. And while I'm doing this, actually, if you guys have anything else that you wanted to go over before we wrap up, feel free to, any alpha, anything on the roadmap, anything. I know you said you had something coming up on Friday, or maybe next week.
Well, I'll probably wrap up with this. The beta hunt is coming very, very, very shortly. We're actually in the position now where we're testing the product on all phones. So our office looks kind of crazy. We own so many different phones now. So we are in the last testing phases. Then a date will be actually released online to say this is when the $10,000 hunt is. On top of that, there'll be some very exciting names revealed over the next 6 weeks who will be partners within the product, and these will be global gamers recognized internationally, which is really, really cool. And that's a big bit of alpha when that ends up coming out. But I think, Sheikh, is there anything that you think I should touch on to finish up, or anything that you wanted to talk about?
No, I think that's pretty good. I'm really looking forward to getting in this beta hunt. We'll know the maps, we'll know the controls, we'll know the gameplay for the first hunts kind of before everyone else will. So I think there's some value to that.
Do you know what's funny on the first hunt? Everyone's going to jump in, and people in the office that have never gamed before, they can't even run past the tree. They just run into the tree. They're like, one of my investors is quite a bit older, and he literally gets the game and he can't look up, look left, look right. So what's going to happen in this hunt is people are going to play, and you're going to get some players that are good gamers running around and others that just keep running into trees.
Yeah,
because there's no demo, there's no tutorials. So our actual practice lobby is coming out for public launch, but the actual beta hunt is like you jump in and all the buttons are obviously there and it works perfect, but it's like you got to figure that out yourself. So how to scan the floor, how to do everything.
That'll make it hilarious.
It's so funny.
I'm quite looking forward to the integration of the controls with Backbone as well. I'll absolutely be buying a Backbone and using one to play. I think that's so cool. I've always kind of seen it. I'm a PC gamer, so I've never really had the need to play mobile games, so I've never bought one. But this will be a great excuse for me to get one, and I'm quite looking forward to that. I think that's such a cool idea.
Yeah, I want Backbone to end up sponsoring the company one day for sure. I think they're so aligned with what we do, and they look so
It'll be
cool.
it'll be very cool when Backbone sponsors Planet X. I'm quite looking forward to that. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, for sure. It'd be really, really exciting to do that. That's the thing, you know. I'm a console gamer, and I never played mobile games growing up because 6, 7, 8 years ago you couldn't have built this game. But because the technology now has got so good, and the experience of actually running around the 3D world you can build, you know, we couldn't have built this 6, 7 years ago. So the fact that technology is getting better, the actual experience now when you play on your mobile is breathtaking. You know, you run around now and you're going to see what Planet X looks like, and you're going to be like, wow, this is powered through my mobile. So, yeah, it's really cool. And for that branding of globalized hunts, it had to be through mobile, because the whole point of this game is it doesn't matter where you're from, your background, how much money you earn. The point is you tune into this game and you can win life-changing money, and that's super exciting. You know, super, super exciting. You can get people from all over the world tuning in at the same time, and somebody can win life-changing money just through finding a treasure chest.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be exciting once everything gets started and people actually start winning. And then speaking of winners, I have the other 4 winners for the battle pass. So those are going to be Meta J 16K, Point Spears, Merzda, and Medici Ghoul. So I am going to go ahead and reply to that tweet to the top with the winners. So do you want them to DM the main Planet X account for that, or do you want to DM them?
Yeah, DM's fine. If the winners DM us, we'll get it set up. We'll get your name added to the passenger list.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll DM those to you as well, just so you have the legit names. Because people, you know, scamming all freaking day long. Like, you'd be surprised. Like, people will be like, "Oh yeah, I won this contest," and it's like, "No, you didn't. You changed the O to a 0. You scammer. Get out of here." So be careful.
we've had that a lot already with boarding passes.
I'm sure
we've had people saying I won. So yeah, all good, all good.
Definitely. So you guys, I think we're going to wrap it up. We're right at about the hour. So I wanted to thank you so much for coming on. It was really nice to speak with you again. And Sheikh, it was nice to meet you as well. I hope that you guys have a good night's rest. I'm going to be wrapping up my night too in a little bit here. So definitely stay in touch with me. I, want to know about all like the big game updates, and that's really one of the things that I love about this, is being able to stay in touch with everybody that I talk with and see all of the developments and all of the exciting things happen. So stay in touch. And you guys, thanks a lot for coming. Thanks for listening. And I will see you next Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Gokhshtein Media, we are powered by Unstoppable Domains. We don't stop. We don't sleep. You know how it goes. And I'll see you next Thursday. Everybody stay safe out there. Bye.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Erica.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye.